You are now listening to the Highly Evolved Podcast with your host, Safan. Transmission will commence momentarily.
How you guys doing? This is the Highly Evolved Podcast and this episode. But before we start, I want to say SJW, socialists, Marxists, please leave the programming. You will be triggered. On that note, let's start the program. I want to talk about what Elizabeth is calling for to start the impeachment proceeding of Donald Trump. My thing is, how are you going to start an impeachment proceeding when there's no evidence? What have you done wrong? All right, there's no evidence. The Mueller report, why? Because the Mueller report is not in your best interest, is not in your favor. Is that why you want to start proceeding? This will look more damaging to the Democratic Party than it is right now. Right? To start a proceeding that costs millions of dollars, right? Costs a lot of money to do this, and it's not even a surefire way of winning. The Senate is ruled by Republican. All right, not everybody's gonna go for this. Why are you gonna start a proceeding? You're gonna divide the country even more. All right, and it's a lost cause. That's what it is. And Elizabeth Warren's pushing this. Pocahontas, this woman, man, this woman is so unelectable. What do Massachusetts seen in her? All right, they should elect Dr. Shiva. This is the real Indian who ran over there. And I hope he don't stop quit running and beat Elizabeth Warren. Elizabeth Warren is one of those elitists, all right, who never have a regular job, who want to protect or side it with the working class when she never had a working class. This woman was a college professor her whole life, and she was a lawyer. All right, she was not a blue collar worker like most of Americans are. All right, and she want to talk for Americans. This woman who's so unrelatable try to think that because she drink a beer on social media, she's relatable. All right? This lady, how is she supposed to stand to her enemies? How is she supposed to be a strong leader? How is she going to react to foreign policy? What does she know about economics? All right? What does she know about warfare? What does she know about military strategy? What does she know about that? She doesn't know anything about that. She does not have a strong perspective on foreign relations. All right, she only appealed to her feelings, and now she want to start impeachment proceedings. All right, this is so stupid. This is so divisive. Right? You know what? If they do this, supporter of Trump will come 10 times stronger. All right, they're not gonna sit back and take this. Why? This is if Democrat pushing for this, right? This is a guaranteed lose. They're gonna lose House, Senate, whatever it is, right? Trust me, they're gonna lose everything. Right, because this is basically attacking what the people voted for, right? And they want to use the term. They want to use like, oh, he didn't get the popular vote. Regardless of the popular vote, right? Regardless of the popular vote, he won the electoral college. The electoral college was put there for a reason to have an even playing field for each state. Right? If we don't have the electoral colleges, I say this so many times. If we don't have electoral colleges, that means it's a monopoly within states, right? That means the whole presidency could be determined by just one state, like California and New York, right? And all these other states don't have no say in this. Without the electoral college, that's what would happen, right? The electoral college is implemented there to have an even playing field for each state, so not one state have an ultimate decision in electing the president, all right? And just because you're a highly populated state doesn't mean you have the right answers. Right, and plus, being you have a highly popular state like California, that doesn't mean all the people are allowed to vote. You have all these fraud votes that's going down in California, all these big states. People aren't supposed to voting, and they try to prevent voting ID. All right, and they try to push this impeachment proceeding. Maxine, well, we have impeached 25. On what ground? That's what I'm trying to ask. On what ground? Oh, collusion. Okay, the Mueller report already proved there's no collusion. When there's no, that's the main point, right? That's the argument that he included with Russia. Well, the Mueller report already said there's no collusion, no stance of collusion, no any evidence of collusion. Basically, there's no evidence of collusion, no anything that's proven collusion. That's the main point. That means it exonerates him, and they want to use that. This does not exonerate him. Okay, they already proved what he was interviewed for collusion. So there's no evidence of collusion. That means that he's exonerated, right? They're stupid. Oh my God, these liberal nutcases. They're so stubborn. They're like jackasses, like donkeys. I'm sorry, pardon my French, but that's what they are. Stubborn donkey. That's why they pick as a donkey for a reason. They're stubborn. that party of Andrew Jackson, all right? Because not people know that Andrew Jackson stubborn himself. He founded the Democratic Party. The only thing he did good was to abolish banking. That's the only thing he did good. Everything else is a full racist, right? He killed a bunch of Indians, right? But the only thing that I give him credit for is destroyed the bankers. That's it. And then you know what happened? It takes another Democrat to bring in the banker, Woodrow Wilson, to establish the Federal Reserve. All right? So you don't know what the Democrat, they're so inconsistent. Are you for, see, the Democrat is so inconsistent with their message, right? Are you for the banker or are you with the banker, right? Andrew Jackson doesn't like the banker, but obviously Woodrow Wilson signed the Federal Reserve, which is the banking system. That's the thing with the Democrats. They're so inconsistent. Back to Elizabeth Warren and impeachment, right? They know they can't win impeachment. They just prey on people false hopes. That's what it is. They think people are dumb enough to fall for their agendas. All right? It's not gonna work. Impeachment on what ground? That's what people need to ask. What ground? Collusion? Right? The Mueller report already says he's not guilty, so that can't be used as evidence. Now they're subpoenaing Robert Mueller, right? What the hell Mueller gonna say? What kind of question they gonna ask? Robert Mueller already put his official reports on the paper already. Well, he can go backtrack it. Why would he backtrack it? I make him look like a stupid. Like, why would you put this? Robert Mueller is not dumb. He's smart enough not to go against himself. Why you wouldn't contradict himself for? Right? They're gonna try to see if Robert Mueller slipped. Right? They already subpoenaed him. They're gonna question Robert Mueller. They're not satisfied. No matter what you're gonna do, these Democrats will never be satisfied. These socialist, Marxist Democrats. All right? These Democrats, and I'm not saying Republicans aren't guilty as well. Mitt Romney already just came out and say all these stupid stuff. These rhinos. Right? I'm not for the Republican Party myself. I'm an American independent. All right. I don't conform to none side, but these Democrats and these rhinos, let them off. Right? Are not helping the situations. Impeached on what ground? What the f are you talking about? There's no evidence. It's basically a waste of money. People, you need to realize this is a stunt just to waste your money. These people in this committee have to get paid for doing. They're not in this committee for free, all right? They're gonna get paid for being in this committee, and it's your tax dollar that's putting all these committees, all right? You need to understand that. I mean, I hate that phrases have been stressed so much that you need to understand. You don't need to understand. You have to understand. You don't need to understand. You have to understand, right? That these Democrats are awful people, right? They're lost. They're out of touch with the people. They're out of touch with the constituents. Not all Democrats think like this. I'm sure not all Democrats are as radical as these leftists. These politicians that's on TV right now, they think that all Democrats are leftists. That's why they're behaving like this. Which not all Democrats are leftists. I'm sure. I mean, maybe I have some kind of hope that there are some rational Democrats out there who's not stupid, all right, to do this. Because if you do this, you're dividing the country. The Democrats gonna have a lot of mess in their hand. People are gonna think the Democrats are just wasting time, wasting money, all right. They're not thinking about the consequences. They don't have the foresight to know what's gonna happen ahead. That's what's wrong with Democrat mindset. They don't have no foresight at all what's going to happen. They're going to do all these social plans, welfare, money for all, reparation, but they don't know what the adverse effect. They don't care about the adverse. They don't care what the effect is. They just want to push their ideas. All right? That's the thing with these Democrats. They don't know what the effect of the impeachment will do to the country. All right? It's going to have a lot of repercussions. And that's what like I mentioned earlier, they don't have the foresight of know what's going to happen. They're blinded. They have narrow view. They don't have a broad view of seeing things. But Elizabeth Warren, Pocahontas, this woman is so weak. I don't know why she's running for president. It's a waste of time for her to do it. Who would vote for her? All right. There's not a single candidate out there that stands out. Not a single one. They all share the same message. All of them are identical. None of them stand apart from each other. How the hell are you going to distinguish yourself if you have the same idea as your opponent? All right? How do you distinguish yourself? You're supposed to have better ideas than your opponent, not share the same ideas with your opponent. See, their strategy sucks. The Democratic strategy, their strategy sucks. Basically, they don't know how to run a campaign at all. They don't know how to persuade people. They don't lie to people. They persuade them by free stuff, but they don't know how to run a decent campaign. Make logical offerings, right? It's reasonable offering, realistic, not something unrealistic, all right? Giving free stuff, that's unrealistic. What will it do to the economy? The economy's not doing so well itself. I admit it. The economy's doing well. See, I have different perspective from Donald Trump. I'm not 100% on board with him, but I support him as president, like Tiger Woods. Respect the office, all right? Because that's what real Americans do. They respect the office. Real Americans, real patriots, all right? But, yeah, these Democrats, we should not elect any more Democrats in office. They don't have the foresight. They destroyed the economy. They destroyed the world, all right? They're bad for America, pure and simple. If you let me know you agree, leave your comment below. You think Elizabeth Warren is stupid for calling this? All right, they got nothing to run on anymore. So the only thing they have to run on, is impeachment and tax. All right, that's the only thing. They don't have no ideas, no good solution. They're for open borders. All right, an open border. Look, like let me put in this analogy. If you still don't like borders, let me put in this analogy. An open border is like a hole in a boat, right? If you have a hole in the boat, and you're on water, you would sink down. That's what it is. An open border is a hole in a boat. How you prevent yourself from sinking? You repair that hole. How you repair the hole? By building a damn wall, all right? That's how you repair it. Then that prevents you from sinking. Right now, America is sinking because of this open border policy, all right? We're going to keep sinking if we don't do something about this. We're a sinking ship right now, all right? And that's what Democrats don't understand, open border policy. Crazy, man. Let me know you agree. You think they're off the rail? But I'm not I'm demonetized. I'm not monetized by anybody. That means I'm not bounded by any views. I'm only bounded by my views. If you like what I'm doing and you want support, hit subscribe button or follow me on social media. And on that note, guys, thank you for watching. The Democrats have lost their minds and divided the country. All right. And on that note, guys, thank you for listening to the HighlyEvolvedPodcast. And I'll see you guys in the next broadcast. Thank you.